We've been sailing across the Pacific Ocean for the last 2.5 years, leaving Panama in early 2023 and slowly making our way through every island nation we come across, zigzagging our way from country to country in search of the true beauty these wild and remote places offer. Last week we set sail from Samoa in the wake of a tsunami, seeking out what we hope will be the highlight of our year as we journey south to the Kingdom of Tonga. We arrived at night in Niuatoputapu, a rarely visited island, but one that surprisingly has a customs office where we could officially clear into the country. And now our search begins for the ocean's gentle giants that have called us here to these waters.
We came to Tonga because it is humpback whale season. They have come up from Antarctica, they are sunning themselves up here, and boy do we know it. Already from here at anchor, we've been watching humpback whales out there on the reef, like jumping, breaching, something the size of like a double-decker bus that was very distinctly humpback whale shaped, launched itself just on the horizon over there. And yeah, we're too excited, we can't resist. So instead of taking the dinghy, we're gonna lift anchor and take Indioko out the scary pass, out into the blue, and hopefully make some new friends.
We were looking at our weather window for tonight, and we're leaving a few hours earlier than we really wanted to, but mainly that's because we came in here in the dark, which was slightly sketchy with the lights on the markers not all being present and a little bit of an S-bend between the coral reefs to do in the middle. So we figured we might be kind to ourselves and leave while the sun is still up so we can see where we're going. A bit easier when you can see where you're going, isn't it?
I was going to say it's quite different when you can see the markers. On the way in we just had these giant metal posts come out of the shadows with no lights on them, whereas at least this time we can easily spot where we're supposed to go. There's a dog leg in the middle though that I need to remember, and there's a rock in the middle of that. So
yeah, there's some quite narrow bits.
Quality.
All right, there is not much wind. The sea state is pretty calm, so fingers crossed we're gonna have 100 whales will suddenly come and hang out with us. How cool would that be? Literally, as soon as I finished filming, I turned around and saw 2 massive splashes over by the island here, so whales are on. This is wild. We just came out the pass and then there was like a big mummy blue, not blue whale, that would be cool, humpback whale, and a little baby one playing and splashing next to her, came right past the boat. And now we can see another 3, it looks like, swimming across in front of us, and you can just see their little puffs of smoke. I was going to say on the horizon, they're so much closer than the horizon. They're just like 100 meters in front of us.
All right, this is a lot of fun, but we are out here to go sailing. So first things first, let's get the mainsail up, get a Genoa going, get the engines off, and then we won't be a growly, angry thing that the whales stay far away from, and instead they might play chase with us or something. Tag, you're it.
All right, we are sailing in beautifully calm conditions. This is ideal for whale spotting. Now, we didn't only come out the anchorage to see the whales, we are actually going somewhere. We're sailing to the next island down in the island chain in Tonga, which is like the hub for whales during whale season, so how could we not go there? So yeah, we've got a day and a half to sail. It's going to be super cushy, super easy, and we're just going to stare out at the horizon the whole time making friends. I'm so excited! Whales so far?
I think we're at 6 or 7.
6, I think. We should put a little counter up in the corner and try and keep track.
Yeah, so we're at 6 whales, although I think we saw a 7th, but we'll go with 6 for now. They all seem to be hanging out up around that island, so I'm not sure what we're going to find on our way. The weird thing is the geography of Tonga is that it's kind of like It's a bit like the Tuamotus in French Polynesia. So it's a submerged mountain range of sorts. It's like these pinnacles that come up from maybe 1,000 meters up to like 10. So it is known for being like the dangerous passage where you're going from this north point all the way down through Tonga to Vava'u and then all the way down to the South Islands. And we're going to kind of, I think, snake our way down through those pinnacles. So I think that's where the whales would hang out. If I was a whale, I'd hang out there.
Sounds a good place to hang out. Why not?
Fine. Only problem is, to start with, I've got to go through a really, really narrow gap at the edge of this island, and there's breaking waves on both sides, under sail.
How deep is it?
At 7 knots. It says 7 meters.
7 meters. Oh my goodness.
7 meters. 7 meters deep. 7 meters deep at high tide. It's low tide. So I don't know what we're going to get, but I think we can thread the needle.
If we go fast enough and get a run up, we'll just jump right over it.
Exactly, that's how Ndioka's going to work. Just a launch on a wave, fly,
on a whale.
and then, like a flying fish. We're just going to launch, flutter, and then splash again.
On shore, somebody has started a fire and there's a little bit of smoke coming up, and I was like, oh, maybe it's a whale, because I thought it was the like little puffy cloud that they make, but I'm just seeing things now.
Ooh, big one!
Whale right there! It's not just the smoke on shore.
We officially have got to 12 in about an hour and a half. 12 whales all over the place, some dead in front of us. We think one or two might have even swam under us. It's hard to tell. What is slightly nerve-wracking is we know that there are a lot more between here and our destination, Vava'u. In fact, a friend of ours, Tor, he has reported seeing 83 whales on one passage in this part of the world. So the reason it's nerve-wracking is that it's sundown now, sunset is going down, and we are not going to be able to see any whales. So if they are hanging around the surface, resting at all, we're not going to know, and we might potentially run right into one, which is not great. The only thing in our favour, it is a full moon tonight, so hopefully that gives us a really eerily lit, silvery moon effect over the water and we have a better chance. But otherwise, it's all down to what we can hear. So if we can hear them breathing, which is such a hard thing to describe, it's just like, I've walked right into that, it's so hard to describe. It's just this explosive air blast followed by a quick sucking in of air again. If we can hear that, then we know they're near, fairly close actually. If we can't hear that amongst the noise of the waves rolling off the back of the boat, the wind in the sails, hopefully, touch wood, we're safe and we can just do our straight line all the way there. So yeah, this could be a very interesting night for us with plenty of risk and hopefully a lot of reward.
Well, it's about midnight and these conditions are so much better than we were expecting. We thought we were going to see like 8 to 10 knots, super light. We were going to be crawling along and it was going to take us ages. And actually we're seeing about 15 knots true and we are slamming along at 7 to 8. So suddenly, instead of getting there the day after tomorrow at sunrise, our ETA is creeping earlier and earlier, and there's a very slight chance that we might get there at sunset tomorrow. So suddenly it's less than 24 hours to go, which just makes this feel like a tiny little hop. We're basically almost there already. We've also got our friend back. Rafferty has landed on the front. If you watched last week's episode, you'll see that we pitched up a hitchhiking booby bird. I don't know if it's the same one, but I like to think so. It was super impressive to see him land though, because we are like smashing through these waves. And so he was like flying around the front of the boat and then hovering at the same height, and the boat would just like come up to almost meet his feet and then disappear into the trough of a wave again and almost come up. And one time he managed to land, just got settled in, and then a huge wave came and splashed him and he kind of flew off in fright. But he's back again now and just chilling out, so we'll see if he sticks around all night. But it's quite nice to have a little friend. And the other bit of good news that you might have noticed is I found our filming lights. So last week we were trying to film so much stuff in the dark and it was so difficult to film and difficult to edit and probably difficult to watch, and we do apologise about that. It turns out that when we arrived in Samoa we had the officials coming on board to check everything on the boat, and in my exuberant tidying I put the lights away in a cupboard that we don't normally keep them in, and so it took us like a week to find them. But hey, we are back to normality now and you can see us again in the dark.
Well, it appears we've made it pretty much through the night. It is 20 past 6 this morning. The sun is just about to rise. I can see the orange in the sky over here. What's wild is, whilst I can see the orange in the sky, which would normally be the thing that brightens up our night, the moon is so bright that it's basically, it's kind of like this greyish silvery light all night. It hasn't changed. So it's actually brighter on this side of the boat than it is on the side of sunrise right now, which is surreal. I don't know if you can see the sparkling on the water over there, but it's very, very bright. Either way, we did not come in contact with any whales. I've been trying to keep my ears open, my eyes open, to see if we could spot or hear any whales around us. To be honest, couldn't hear a thing over the sound of our wake. We've been going surprisingly fast, sort of holding about 6 knots, which we weren't expecting. So if they were there, they were keeping their distance, thank goodness. And as the sun comes up, maybe we'll be able to spot a few more spouts in the distance.
Well, the sky is clouded over a little bit this morning and the winds are definitely getting lighter. We've also said goodbye to Rafferty, our little bird friend, flew off at sunrise this morning, so he's off again. We'll see if he comes back later. But yeah, we are slowing down for sure. I was hoping that the wind was going to swing around behind us to get the spinnaker up. That hasn't happened yet, so maybe this afternoon, but I think for now, we put a reef in overnight, and I think it is definitely time to shake that out and get every little tiny minutiae of a knot that we can, because if we keep slowing down like this, we're going to be out here for a week.
So earlier today we had to fire up the engines. We gave up. The wind actually turned around to come from our nose, from exactly where we wanted to go, and dropped to like 4 knots, which Indioka does well in light wind, but that's just too light. So as you can hear, the engines have been running now for a while, and we're just going one engine at a time, oscillating back and forth. It just keeps the engine hours down, and in conditions like this, we definitely don't need 2 engines running at the same time. And weirdly, no whales. I'm feeling a bit shortchanged, if I'm honest. So yeah, we're going to keep our eyes open tonight, and then sometime maybe around 1, 2 a.m. when we arrive down at Vava'u, that's when things could get interesting, because we know for a fact that there's an awful lot of whales hiding out or hanging out around the entrance to Vava'u where we're going. So yeah, we'll try and film in the dark as best we can, but it's never that easy. So let's find out.
Well, that's it. Sails are down, engines are on, and we are through the cut into the kind of main island of Vava'u. I'm talking really quietly because it's like 3 a.m. and it is so still and calm and protected in here. It feels like my voice is going to carry and wake people up on shore if I'm too noisy. I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't see any whales as we came in, but then at the same time it was dark, and so maybe I didn't want to see them too close up, and hopefully they were just sleeping. I'm very much looking forward to seeing more now that we are here, and I'm so ready for a little sleep. Well, a lot of you have been asking what is the situation with our Watermaker, and we are crossing our fingers that we might actually have an update for you. What are you so happy about?
I am delighted. Well, I think I am. This is the high pressure pump of our Watermaker. So this is probably the most expensive part, short of the actual membranes that strip the salt out of the seawater. And it has built into it these 4 ceramic kind of brushes, they're called. They're kind of carbony brushes, they're really dirty in this case. And there's one sort of at each corner of a circle.
We all know what you mean.
And basically, all but one of them, this one, all the other ones were damaged. Either this little fly lead is broken, or it actually fallen out of the ceramic, or indeed, in one of them, it's actually snapped open and fallen to pieces. So it means that this is the part that wasn't working, and we need this part for the Watermaker to work. And these are really hard to come by in this part of the world. Like we went to garages, car mechanics, we went to other boats, and everyone was going, yeah, I've got like one that size or that size. And we needed something like 1.25 inches in size. And then today, this little package arrived from our good friend, who I've mentioned before. We have a friend who works with Seaflow Direct is his company, or his company, his website. You can check it out, Seaflow with no W. And he heard of our troubles and said, well, that's just ridiculous. Why don't I send you priority mail 4 brushes? And they are brand new, shiny, and they fit perfectly. So this has like potentially got our Watermaker back up and running, and it's all thanks to John at Seaflow. We are ridiculously grateful because he just heard that we were having a hard time with it, and he's like, well, you don't need to be struggling. Let me fix that.
Yeah, so he shipped them from the States to American Samoa, which is awfully close to Samoa where we were. And our friends in American Samoa picked up the package for them, passed them to another boat, who then sailed here to Tonga, and they passed them on to us. And so, thankfully, incredibly, we have had these things shipped, literally shipped, around the world, and finally arrived here. Okay, the motor is back in place, the pump is installed, everything is plumbed in. Now comes the moment of truth. We honestly don't know what is about to happen. How confident are you feeling?
I mean, I think this is the only electrical problem we had. I think we went through everything with the boost pump. We thought it was that, which is a smaller pump. Tested it, checked it was fine, checked its wiring. Filters were all good. That pump seemed to be the problem. We do still have a problem with the membranes. We only have one trusty membrane, and the other one was giving us weird results. So we've actually bypassed that, and this is its production water. It's fresh water, which is kind of tastes a bit funny. But the other membrane is plumbed through to our tanks. And if noise comes from that pump and water comes out the end of that hose, or any hoses for that matter, then I think we're starting to be out of the woods. But I'm saying all the apprehensive, cautious language because I'm scared.
I know. I so hope this works.
Tell me about it. I got 2 switches to flip. The first one will flip the small pump on, so we'll hear the fan going and the brrr, brrr that makes. And then the really loud one is over there, and we'll find out what happens. So,
all right, stage 1.
Boost pump. That's the fan. Helps it open the valve. All right, so that's now putting salt water in and refilling the system, if you like. That's an air bubble.
Yeah.
It's just an air bubble.
It's just an air bubble. We can cope with that.
Give it time to get rid of it. Because essentially, as I've been messing with this big pump, air has gotten into the system and gotten into the membranes and filled the pipes. So this pump is now just getting rid of an airlock. Plus, we were sailing, so there's going to be air in the system before the pump, but it needs to clear through. It's getting there. There we go. I should say that our Watermaker is kind of aged technology at this point. So we have a traditional high pressure pump system, which means it's very noisy and uses a lot of electricity, whereas you can now get a piston based pump system. I want to call it a Chatham pump, where they're much more energy efficient, much quieter than this, and less prone to issues. So we are working on something that's already out of date, but if we can get it to work, then we can have showers. So it's worth it.
Okay, the boost pump is happy. Now is the moment of truth. Going to turn on the high pressure pump, and we really hope that it goes like and not just a click and a stop, which is what happened last time.
If this goes right, I won't be able to hear a word you're saying.
Just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down and a smiley face or a crying face.
Okay, and then if anything bursts into flames that I can't see, jump off the back? I don't know.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
I really hope it works.
High pressure pumps. Yeah. Boost pump's struggling to keep up.
Okay.
Which isn't a good thing.
So essentially the high pressure pump worked as we wanted it to. We just have a different problem to fix now. Well done, that looks like some progress.
I don't know if it is. It's so hard to tell. I mean, okay, yes, the high pressure pump, that was the problem with the high pressure pump. Those magnet units, those brushes, that's what was causing the problem.
Yes, we're going to claim that as a win.
So the noisy bit is working. So it made noise, that's a win. And then it's just this weirdness about it wasn't priming properly, then I kind of shortcut a way to prime it, which probably isn't correct, but it seemed to work. And we are now making water, but our meter that tells us the quality of the water is just a bit random. So like I decanted out a sample glass to test and it was reading at 5.7 parts per million. Really, really good water is like 100 parts per million. And then when I went, okay, well, I guess it still tastes okay and it seems all right, let's send it to our rainwater tank, because we kind of divided our 2 tanks up. Send it to that one, because then we're not necessarily drinking it, but we're making something that we can use to wash. And it suddenly went, okay, yeah, that's 224 parts per million. Just like that, it just went, oh, this is 6. Turn a valve, oh, 224. So I don't know what's going on.
I do feel like we've been here before, particularly with the Watermaker, where it's like we're just so in need of a win. We're going to hold on to the fact that the brushes fixed one problem and now the pressure pump, the high pressure pump, is running and working. We're definitely not out the woods.
If you happen to make Watermakers and you'd like a boat in the middle of nowhere to test it in the harshest of conditions,
we're so in need of one.
We'd be happy to talk. We'd be happy to sell. Actually, I was going to say our souls. That's maybe a bit too much.
We do really need water, though.
Drinking rights.
We need it.